rolling, keep the drama happening, keep the demons coming, the ever-present threat, whether it's familial or paranormal, seems to be an ever-present.
Yeah, and I was doing my research on this in terms of the Bondsman, and it's a sort of there was a similar sort of book series, Hell in Haven, an urban fantasy series by David Green, which mentions some of these sort of characters. So the idea was out there in terms of this sort of
Hmm.
concept and premise. Obviously, it was brought to life by the wonderfully talented director in charge of this, David Granger, as well. But what did you know about the concept or the project before you got involved?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I knew next to nothing. It's much like any audition. I got a couple of small sides together as the audition. I took my best swing at what they might like, and somehow kind of lucked my way into it.
Yeah. Did you know Kevin Bacon was attached while you were auditioning for the role?
Yeah, he's an executive producer on it as well, so his name was up there, and I said, "Oh wow, that would be incredible." But I don't think I know he or I knew that he was the lead in it as well. But pleasant surprise.
And tell us, was it obviously the Zoom videotaped auditions is not is a normal procedure now, dare I say, in Hollywood going forward after everything that's happened in the last few years, the trauma in the
Yeah.
industry. Was it when you got the good news? Was it a long wait? Was it a short wait? Was it out of the blue, dare I say?
I think my process went. I sent it an initial audition. About a week later, I was asked for a retape because apparently there was some pushback from Amazon on how heavy they wanted the accents to be. I retaped for that. Um, got what's called an availability check. Said, "Oh, cool. You get these all the time." It just says, "Oh, are you free during this like window of shooting?" I said, "Oh, yeah, of course, sure." And then, you get pinned for it, and then you hope it's like between you and one or two other people. And then, yeah, I mean, I got the craziest little text message at about 8 p.m. my time, just from my agent that says, "You got approved." Like the most informal little text, and I said, "Holy crap!" Like I just it blew away any expectations that I had for it. That's for sure.
And were you based, obviously filmed in Atlanta, Georgia, so near enough to where you come from as well? What was your sort of take on the Tater character?
Well, when I originally read it, and I feel like I've just, one of the things about this industry, especially in Atlanta, is you read for a lot of roles, kind of smaller roles. So, and sometimes you'll get six or seven of these auditions in a week, and you don't really have time to go, oh man, let me like really craft this intricate backstory and really live this life beforehand. You just got to go, oh, I know this guy, and you just get it on tape, and you think the words are close enough, really. But that's only something that I've been comfortable with because I've done it over 1,000 times. Um, but I remember a buddy of mine, my buddy Tony, and I were taping each other for the same role back to back. So I taped him first. I was like, oh, that's interesting, but I have a very different look at this character, and I kind of saw the humor in how because the second audition side I had was in episode 3, that little monologue about Tater's theory on what's causing all this. It's witches, right? So I was like, man, this is just a guy who's got conviction about what his theory is on what's going on, and I know, to me, that's how good comedy is just being committed to the bit.
And Mike, when you arrived on set in terms of filming and linking up with Beth Grant, with Kevin Bacon, with Damon Herriman, Jennifer and Nettles, it almost felt, did you feel the harmony between the cast from day one? And I suppose when characters get killed off in this, when you see a few killings off early, were you always nervously looking over your shoulder, hoping that the bullet mightn't come for you, dare I say?
Well, if you look at it, I mean, I get thrown in a trunk and could have easily been forgotten for the series, right? And for whatever reason, and very, a lot of good luck on my side, I think they decided to keep me around and maybe have me do a couple extra things later on. As far as the coherency between the cast. I mean, I was very fortunate to go to the table read, the initial table read, and from then I, sitting on a panel with these guys, all the regulars of the cast, and everyone was super warm and inviting, and that really, thank goodness for that, because that really set the tone and let me feel comfortable, at least to, some a modicum of comfortability at least before we were on set rolling, and me and Kevin are acting for 14 hours together.
Yeah. I suppose, Mike, one of the intriguing sort of stories, if you blink, you would have missed it, but a real life sort of fact here that Beth Grant, who plays the mother of Kevin Bacon in this, she's actually only 8 years older than Kevin in real
Yeah.
life in terms of that. But if you looked upon it in screen, it just looks like the perfect mother sort of son combination in terms of that. You would think there was a good 20 years at least between them.
Yeah, I think that's probably a little part of just how I feel like maternal and Southern hospitality and all like the positive Southern American qualities, like Beth reflects all of those. And I think conversely, Kevin is, I mean, I don't think I ever saw that man snack on anything but like fruits and nuts and veggies and like drink water. I mean, he's just one of the healthiest eaters I've ever met. And so he takes really good care of himself. And for a guy who's 66, I kind of look to him for some physical inspiration.
Yeah, I suppose the great thing about this, Mike, is you didn't do overkill in terms of season one. We see many series that come out the block sort of flying, maybe with maybe 15, 16 episodes, and they go through an awful lot of loss through cell one, and they probably leave themselves open maybe to fail, maybe going forward, because
Mm,
obviously there's great expectations in a second season might live up to the first, and that's basically because they maybe have done a bit of overkill in the first season in terms of that,
right.
that the second season can't reflect it. But 8 episodes is a nice thing. It's sort of hooked you in, it's baited you in, it's caught your attention, and now you're almost sitting back now and waiting to say, when is the next installment coming along? You're not sort of taking on a 2, 3 month sort of a journey with 15 or episodes where you say, wow, I've seen all that, and you're maybe sort of tired from a sort of such, and maybe
A little
the
burnout.
appeal the appeal wears off. 8 episodes is a nice sort of little introduction flavor that sort of sets you up for more.
Yeah, I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's one of the first, if not the first Amazon show that they decided to drop it as a binge as well, instead of spacing it out week by week. But I think due to the pacing, as you kind of mentioned before, where you're kind of like boom, 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 you do have to be paying pretty close attention to it to really gather every single thing that's going on. And there are snippets where something flashes for a second, you go, oh, well, you got to make sure you saw that. So I think dropping that to say, hey, listen, if you got 4 hours, which a lot of people do when, especially in the binge culture, just check it out. See if it hooks you. And I think fortunately it really did. And yeah, I think we were not. I certainly didn't know what to expect. Right, we kind of wrapped on this sometime last year, and you just hope that people are going to tune in to anything that you do, and if they do tune into it, you hope they're going to like it. And it seems that it's really well received, and I couldn't be more pleased.
And also the show, I'm not going to give it away for our listeners and audience, but it really, I've seen it myself. It ends on a real sort of cliffhanger, an unexpected sort of turn there at the end that really sort of shocks you in one way because it's probably the last thing that you would suspect.
Yeah, so gonna make sure I talk about this delicately.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do think they've done an incredible job at saying, guys, there's more to the story.
yeah.
We should hopefully get to do this, get to have a little more fun with this. And I'm actually I'm close friends with Kat, and watching her uh do her thing is just it's she's on another level. I adore watching her, and she really got her moment